It's the final percent. The final percent. Yeah.
All right, we're back with another episode of the Final Percent podcast. And, I am taking a pretty positive stance on all of this. I know that there's a lot of crap going on in the world, but you know what? We still have so much to be thankful for. But you know what? With that being said, let's talk a little bit about the writing that's on the wall, where we have these giant corporations asking for bailouts once again. And something's got to be said for if you have these companies that constantly need tens of billions of dollars, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars, we've got to adjust somewhere. We've got to figure this out because, if any American ran their business the way that these large corporations are able to run their business, it is, I love what Mark Cuban said. Mark Cuban said, all of the companies that do these bailouts shouldn't get stock buybacks. And I actually completely agree with that. I love the new measures where if these bailouts happen, which we all know they're going to, but we're capping the executive salary at $400,000 instead of these, $10 million salaries that we're seeing. So, there's something to be said with we're getting a little bit of a wake-up call, but where's the bailout for the single mom of four? Where's the bailout of the mom and pop industries? Where's the bailout of, anybody at a small level? And I think that is one of the things that we need to actually push to the forefront of America is why are we doing this thing where we're going to give out, we're going to free up $50 billion to the SBA to be more lax on lending, but alone we're going to give the airline industry over, $100 billion. Well, that's every small business in America needs to pull from this $50 billion. And that's if you can get approved. Well, all of the guidelines, all of the credit, everything that's going on, it's going to take you so long to get approved. And then you might not be able to. Why? Because you're in an economic hardship. So the conversation needs to start about what are we going to do differently. Yesterday, I talked about let's build in a new direction. Let's stop rebuilding the same house of cards. It's happened too many times. And we have to get into a situation to where we finally say enough is enough is enough is enough. But we're doing the same thing we did in 2008, same thing that we did in one of the various stock market crashes. There's these bailouts and there's, you extended a little too far. You did stock buybacks. You misappropriated funds. You paid some people too much money. We've got to start doing things differently. And, the American public, and I'm not going to go into the political side of things because there's been some really bad things and really good things that has happened under every single administration. And we don't need to get into that being the only problem that we have. A lot of times, whether you say that Trump has done a great job or Trump has done a bad job, you're giving him all the credit either way. And it's just not the case. A lot of the Republicans want to say, Obama messed up the country, and you're giving him all the credit for messing up the country. Or if you say we had the best, yada, 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 you're giving him all the credit. There's a lot of things that go into building anything. And I think the thing that we need to talk is whether we're Republican or Democrat, this version of humanity thinking that things are the answer, we need to stop rebuilding this same thing because the same thing is happening, and we've got to ask ourselves, when are we going to learn the lesson? And that's why I was very quick to say, because a lot of people have called me. I mean, I'm in education. This has been extremely tough on our business. And they said, how are you going to rebuild? How are you going to do this? I said, I'm not going to rebuild. I am going to build in a new direction, because I do not want to have a company that is this susceptible to a proverbial sneeze being able to take down a global economy, which I'm very much included in. Now, just to be clear, that doesn't mean I'm closing KMG's doors. We are pivoting. And I think every business is operating out of 3 buckets right now. Every single business is operating out of, I need to buy some time. I need to buy some time so that I know that I can get this across the finish line. Now, right now, because we're getting new information every 30 minutes, our finish line is moving every 30 minutes. Sometimes it gets closer, sometimes it gets further away, sometimes it gets hidden. But we're trying to buy time so that we can get to whatever the finish line becomes. The other thing is everyone's looking for the pivot. So you have buy time and then you have pivot. What are we going to pivot to? Everyone's pivoting to online. It's going to become a very crowded space, and we have to understand that that's about to happen. Now, yes, certain things should be able to be done online, but a lot of people are thinking, oh, I should have done this anyway, and they just think I'll be a millionaire overnight. No. The economy very much has to recover. And then the third bucket that everyone's trying to operate out of is new money. So you've got number one, I've got to buy some time. I need more time. And then number two, what you're saying to yourself is you're saying, okay, number two, what do we need? We need to pivot. What are our new ideas? What are the new things, the new process, procedures, protocols, all these different things? And then number three is new money. I'm telling you right now, if you buy enough time and you pivot appropriately. Now, one more time, if you buy enough time and you pivot appropriately, new money will start coming in. And it's not going to be the same way that you made your old money. So we're going to pivot to offer new and more online programs. But we're also pivoting to say, okay, there's a bunch of things that, we could have done better while we were just a school, because brick and mortar is in my blood. I want to serve customers face to face. I love people. So I'm not closing my doors, but I am going to augment. I am going to pivot. Now, how well do I implement those? That's what I'm after right now. But we have to build differently. We have to build in a new direction. We cannot build the same house of cards. It's time to use some cement on this. It's time to use, some good old-fashioned elbow grease, some bricks. Dare I say brick and mortar. Online is definitely important, but so are these small businesses. I go to a coffee shop every day on the way in, and I tipped the barista $33 this morning, and she literally almost had tears in her eyes when are you sure you want to do this? Yes, because I care about you guys. I don't just come here for the coffee. I come here for the community, the interaction. I come here to support other small businesses. I care about small business. If we all go online, well, then we're playing at a different level. Like I was explaining to my team today, once we launch these online programs, what differentiates us? Because now we're playing at CU's level. We're playing at full sales level. These are people with much bigger budgets than we have. How do we pivot yet again so that we can always have our own community and our own market? I want people to understand that. So buy as much time as you need. When I say buy time, that means use this time to get more knowledge. Use this time to negotiate with people. People are out there and they actually do want to help. Negotiate with your landlord. Say, hey, what do you want from me? I really want to do this. Can we defer? Can we yada, yada, yada? All of these different things are available to you now to safely press the reset button. You have the opportunity to use this time to really, really understand what you're capable of. Don't build the same house of cards again in your own life. It starts with you. The government, hopefully they choose different paths than the past. But you know what? We cannot control them right now. We can control our own lives. So let's make sure we don't build our own same house of cards. So with that being said, go the final percent today in something for yourself, for your spouse, for you learning. Go the final percent, make a difference in someone's life. Go leave a $33 tip, a matching tip, a 100% tip. Call someone, say that you love them, you care about them. But this is a time of, yes, adversity, but we get opportunity to change. The country is pressing its reset button right now, and I hope that we build in a new direction. So with that being said, hey, this is the final percent. I appreciate you guys. I know it's a little bit of a rant. I danced around the political stuff a little bit, but hey, at the end of the day, I just want to stop building a house of cards where someone literally sneezes and it all comes down.
It's the final percent. The final percent.